the young, and the restless spoilers. Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful, drama-filled day, and we are so incredibly excited to dive deep into the absolute chaos that is currently unfolding in Genoa City. Grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and let's unpack the latest shockers together because this episode was truly one for the books. I cannot even begin to process what I just watched on my screen tonight. Are you actually kidding me with this Kant's Ashby storyline? I am sitting here staring at the TV, completely and utterly mind blown by the absolute darkness that has just taken over this man. I mean, we all knew Kane and Lily were not going to just roll over and let Billy Abbott waltz in and steal Chancellor Industries from under them. But murder, or framing him for a felony and sending him to prison? When did Kane Ashby turn into a literal supervillain? I am screaming. I know I need to calm down and explain my thoughts, but my jaw is still on the floor. Let's just back up for a second and look at how we got here. Kane Ashby has always been a little bit shady, right? We remember the whole Ethan Kane Ashby fake identity thing, the Colin and Genevieve mafia drama, the fake death, the Juliet affair. He has always been a guy who bends the rules and lies to protect his family. But there is a massive, gigantic leap between lying about your past and actively plotting to kill your rival or frame him for a federal crime. And he said it with such a straight face. He was just sitting there looking at Lily and casually suggesting that the only way to stop Billy is to take him out permanently. I can't believe they did that with his character. It is so dark, so twisted, and yet part of me is absolutely here for it because it makes for incredible television. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about Lily Winters for a second. Am I the only one who is completely baffled by Lily's reaction to this? Lily, the moral compass of the Winters family, the woman who has always tried to do the right thing, is just sitting there listening to her ex-husband plot a literal homicide or a massive frame-up. I know she is furious. I know Chancellor is her legacy, and she has poured her blood, sweat, and tears into building Chancellor Winters into a massive empire. But is a company really worth going to prison for? Has she completely forgotten that she already went to prison? Remember when she caused the accident that killed Hillary and her unborn baby? Lily spent time behind bars. She knows how horrific it is. Why on earth would she entertain a conversation that could send her right back to a cell? Okay, back to the point. I know some people are loving this ruthless, take no prisoners version of Lily, but personally, I think she is playing with absolute fire. She is letting her hatred for Billy and his arrogant takeover attempt completely blind her to the fact that Kane is unhinged right now. Kane is desperate. He extorted his way back into the company using his bone marrow, and now he is willing to commit murder to keep his spot. Lily needs to wake up and smell the coffee before she becomes an accessory to a felony. But then again, maybe she is just so exhausted by Billy's constant sabotage that she is willing to look the other way. It is a fascinating psychological study, honestly. And let's talk about Billy Boy Abbott for a minute, because as much as I am horrified by Kane's plot, Kane is actually 100% right about one thing. Billy is sloppy. Billy is always sloppy. He is so arrogant, so smug, so completely full of himself right now because he thinks he found this magical loophole with John Abbott's decades-old loan. He thinks he is invincible. He is parading around the GCAC, buying champagne, bragging to Audra Charles, and acting like he has already been crowned the king of Genoa City. He is completely oblivious to the fact that he is painting a massive target on his own back. Billy has this fatal flaw where he gets a little bit of power and it immediately goes to his head. Remember his gambling phases? Remember when he took over Jabot and nearly ran it into the ground with his reckless decision? He never, ever learns. He doesn't look over his shoulder. He doesn't anticipate his enemy's moves. Cain wants to set a trap because he knows Billy will walk right into it with a blindfold on, chewing his gum and smirking the whole way down. It is so frustrating to watch as a fan because you just want to shake Billy and tell him to wake up. Your enemies are literally plotting your demise and you're busy picking out office furniture. But this is where the episode completely flipped the script, and I am still recovering from the adrenaline rush. Sally Spectra. Can we please give a massive round of applause to Sally Spectra? I have been watching this show for years, and Sally's character development is honestly one of the best things the writers have ever done. She was in the right place at the exact right time, hiding in the shadows, and she overheard everything. She heard Cain plotting to set the trap. She heard the words prison and kill. And the look on her face, Courtney Hope deserves an Emmy for that subtle shift from shock to absolute terror to fierce determination. Sally could have walked away. Let's be real. Sally has had a lot of doubts about Billy recently. She just found out about his chancellor obsession, and she was secretly terrified that his family wouldn't support him and that his manic corporate warfare would destroy their future. She confided in Audra about her fears. She knows Billy is a mess. A part of her probably knows that Billy is bringing this on himself by poking the bear. If this was the old Sally, the one from Los Angeles who faked a terminal illness, or the one who schemed with Tara Locke to run Summer out of town, she might have just kept her mouth shut. She might have let Billy fall into the trap so she could swoop in and pick up the pieces, or just cut her losses and run. But not this Sally. Sally chose Billy. She stood there processing the fact that her fiancé is about to be framed or murdered, and she immediately decided that she has to warn him. She loves him. Despite all his flaws, despite his arrogance, despite the fact that he makes terrible decisions, he is her man. She is choosing loyalty. And I think that is incredibly beautiful and tragic all at the same time. Sally has lost so much. She lost her baby, Ava. She lost Adam. She just wants stability and a family, and now she is being dragged into a deadly corporate war because the man she loves can't stop trying to prove himself to the ghost of John Abbott. The tension in that eavesdropping scene was absolutely masterful. The lighting was dark. The camera angles were tight. You could practically hear Sally's heart pounding out of her chest as she pressed herself against that wall. She was holding her breath, listening to Cain lay out this diabolical plan to exploit Billy's carelessness. You could see the wheels turning in her head. How is she going to tell Billy? Will Billy even believe her? Billy is so delusional right now, he might just laugh it off and tell Sally she is overreacting. That is my biggest fear. Sally is going to risk her life to warn him, and Billy is going to give her that condescending little smirk and tell her not to worry her pretty little head about it. If he does that, I will throw my remote at the television. But wait, the real cliffhanger, the moment that literally made me scream out loud, was the very end of the scene. Did Lily figure it out? Did Lily sense that someone was listening? The way Lily suddenly stopped talking, tilted her head, and looked directly toward the pillar where Sally was hiding. Chills, literal chills. Lily Winters has incredible intuition. She grew up in this town. She has dealt with schemers her entire life. She knows when the energy in a room shifts. What happens if Lily catches Sally? I am genuinely terrified for Sally right now. If Lily walks over there and finds Sally eavesdropping on a murder plot, what are Cain and Lily going to do? They can't just let her walk away. Are they going to hold her hostage? Is Cain going to threaten Sally to keep her quiet? Cain is already in a desperate, unhinged state of mind. If he is willing to kill Billy, what is stopping him from hurting Sally to protect his secret? I swear, if they lay a finger on Sally Spectra, The entire fan base is going to riot. I am trying to figure out how this is all going to play out next week, and my mind is going in a million different directions. Let's say Sally manages to slip away unseen. She runs to Billy, completely out of breath, and tells him that Kane and Lily are setting a trap to send him to prison or put him in the ground. What does Billy do? Does he go to the police? No, of course not, because this is a soap opera and nobody ever calls the cops when they should. Billy will probably decide to outsmart them. He will probably try to walk into the trap intentionally to turn the tables on Kane, because Billy always thinks he is the smartest guy in the room, and that is exactly how people get killed. I know some people are totally team Lily and Kane in this scenario because Billy brought this on himself by trying to steal Chancellor. And I get it. Billy is being incredibly aggressive and using a dirty legal loophole to steal a company that Victor already handed over to Lily. It's a low blow. But framing someone for a felony, murder, that is crossing a line that you can't uncross. If Kane actually goes through with this, there is no redemption for him. He will be a full-blown villain. And maybe that is what the writers want. Maybe they are transitioning Kane into the next big bad of Genoa City. And think about the ripple effects this is going to have on the rest of the canvas. If Jack Abbott finds out that Kane and Lily were plotting to kill his brother, Jack will go nuclear. Jack is already heavily debating Lily's buyout offer. He is terrified of losing Billy. If he finds out Lily was sitting in a room discussing Billy's murder, Jack will destroy Chancellor Winters with his bare hands. The Abbott family will go to war. And what about Devon? Devon just left the company to start a nonprofit and save his marriage. If he finds out his sister and his former brother-in-law are involved in a murder plot, it will completely shatter the Winters family. I am also so fascinated by the dynamic between Lily and Kane right now. They have such a toxic, complicated history. They have been married, divorced, reunited, torn apart. Kane lied to her for years about who he was. He cheated on her with Juliet and had a baby. And yet, here they are, trauma bonded over their hatred for Billy Abbott, plotting crimes together in the shadows. It is a bizarre, twisted romance. Does Lily actually still love Kane, or is she just using him as a weapon against Billy? Because Kane is clearly doing this to prove his worth to Lily. He wants to be her knight in shining armor, even if that armor is covered in blood. It is so messed up, but I cannot look away. And let's bring it back to Sally for a minute, because she is the true hero of this episode. Sally has grown so much. Remember when she first came to Genoa City from Los Angeles? She was a pariah. Nobody trusted her. She made so many mistakes. But she has fought tooth and nail to prove that she has a good heart. Choosing to protect Billy, knowing the danger it puts her in, proves that her love is real. She isn't just with Billy for his money or his name. She genuinely cares about him. I just hope Billy realizes how lucky he is to have her. If he dismisses her warning, he doesn't deserve her. I am literally going to be counting down the minutes until the next episode. The suspense is killing me. Did Lily see Sally's shadow? Did she hear her breathe? If Sally gets caught, the entire storyline shifts from a corporate takeover to a hostage situation. And if Sally escapes, it becomes a high-stakes game of cat and mouse between Billy and Kane. Either way, we are in for some of the best television this show has given us in months. I have to say, the writers are really delivering right now. Yes, I complain about the pacing sometimes, and yes, I get frustrated when characters act out of character, but this is the kind of soapy, high-stakes drama that made me fall in love with The Young and the Restless in the first place. The stakes are life and death. The corporate wars are personal. The eavesdropping is perfectly timed. It is classic soap opera perfection. So, what do you guys think? Am I overreacting about Kane? Is he just blowing off steam, or is he actually capable of murder? Do you think Lily will catch Sally in the act of eavesdropping? And most importantly, will Billy actually listen to Sally's warning, or will his massive ego lead him right into Kane's trap? I need to know your theories because I am going to be obsessing over this all night long. I am so emotionally invested in this Sally and Billy relationship, which is crazy because I didn't even like them together at first. I was a hardcore Chatham fan, and then I loved Sally with Adam. When she got with Billy, I thought it was just a rebound. But seeing her stand in that hallway, risking her own safety to protect a man who is actively self-destructing, it got to me. It really did. She is proving that she is a ride or die partner. Billy better step up and protect her, because if Kane figures out that Sally knows his plan, Sally's going to be in grave danger. Okay, I need to wrap this up before I write an entire novel, but I just had to get all these feelings out. The drama is too good to keep to myself. This show has me on an absolute emotional roller coaster, and I am not getting off anytime soon. The Chancellor War has officially turned deadly, and nobody is safe. I will be right back here after the next episode to break down whatever insane cliffhanger they throw at us next. Until then, keep your friends close and your corporate enemies far, far away.